Welcome to the HYPECAST! Woo! For Remake.
Oh, yeah.
The key word that we used as a basis for that was reunion. So obviously, the idea is within the game, Cloud has come back together with his comrades after a long time separated. What? And that's where the story begins. For the player as well. For most people, it would be their reunion with Final Fantasy VII. And that they played a long time, or that they played it a long time ago. And that really underpinned everything about how that game was developed. Then, moving on to Rebirth. The main key word that we used there was bonds. So obviously, that's the relationship between the characters, how they come to know each other and become closer over their journey. And that affected the gameplay. And like you said, in the same vein, we have a new keyword for the third game in the series. Can't tell you what it is yet. It's very much there. Influencing and informing how the gameplay and the game experience is shaped in exactly the same way as the first two games by their keyword. Naoki Hamaguchi. That's who said that.
Juicy.
Dude, okay, that right there had my mind going all over the place, right? So if you've been keeping up with the HYPEcasts, you probably have already guessed what my keyword is. Or should I say was, until I started really thinking about it. And I'm like, oh man, wait a second. I got a new one. But for the sake of this conversation, I don't want to steal, because I don't know what the boys have brought to the table. I don't know what your keywords are, so I don't want to steal any keywords. So if you say the keyword that I've been thinking of, then I will go ahead and I got some support for that as well. But before we even get into that, I do want to say a big welcome to the HYPEcast, and welcome back, Twitch. If you're watching over on Twitch, we haven't been live on Twitch in years, and for the first time, trying out multi-streaming here. So we're live on YouTube and Twitch. So seeing how that goes. YouTube, everybody, you're the faithful in the chat right now. Please let me know if that is affecting your stream quality or anything is messing up on your end. We'll make sure we take care of that right away.
What are you gonna old yeller Twitch?
Oh, we freaking get out of here, Twitch. I tried. We make sure YouTube comes first. I'm just kidding. You see where my priorities are. I'm just kidding.
You're gonna offend all 2 Twitch viewers. One of them being me.
We'll see.
Hey, man.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. That's both my moderators are. That's excellent. Hey, man, nobody knows we were on there. But anyways, I want to reach you where you guys are, right? If you Final fans, if you watch over on Twitch, I want to be there for you as well. Obviously, the best way to support Final Fan TV is over on patreon.com/FinalFanTV. That is the absolute best way. And it's going to be a huge revamp with a bunch of new benefits. We're going to have a thermometer gauge going on for Final Anniversary 5. And why are you looking at me like that? Do you not know what a thermometer gauge is? Thermometer? Like, where you get the people, every time somebody subs, the thermometer goes up and it unlocks a new perk, new benefit? No? That's what it's called over on Kinda Funny. Maybe they're the only one that say thermometer gauge. Maybe that's where I got it. Anyways,
the hype monitor. Hype monitor.
Oh,
hype monitor. I don't
No.
know. We'll work on it. We'll workshop it.
limit break.
Hypometer.
A limit
the
break
limit break, yeah.
gauge. Oh, and every time it hits a
Hey.
thing, we hit a limit break and we do a new thing. Oh, it's gonna be good. We're gonna have a limit break gauge. Final Anniversary 5 is coming up November 1st. And while we're on the subject, before we dive in head first into the keywords topic, I want to make an announcement for Final Anniversary 5. This is really exciting, and you might have seen it already in the starting soon screen. Did you see the artwork there? Oh, one of my favorite artists. Actually, at this moment, he is my favorite artist. Let's be real. It's Tyler Hepner. Tyler Hepner will be a guest on Final Anniversary 5, and not just hanging out and let's talk. No. Tyler Hebner always brings the hype. And Tyler Hebner is going to join us for a very special hype cast. It's going to happen during the Final Anniversary 5 event. This Hypecast is going to be us predicting the box art for Final Fantasy VII Part 3, whatever that's going to be called. We're going to predict what the box art is going to look like. And if we have an artist, well, we should probably have the artist art. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. It's going to be hype. That's November 1st.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
going to be a Saturday. It's going to be a fun event, probably sometime in the evening, starting at like 5 p.m. Eastern. I haven't worked out all those details yet. But yeah, get hype for Final Anniversary 5. That's November 1st once again. Now let's talk about the keyword. All right, boys. I got Excalibro in the middle of your screen. I got the Dragoon King on the right, top right of the screen. Woo! The spear. It's good to have you back, Lee. Thank you. I'm glad to see you're in good health. You were sounding.
I'm in health.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. I guess you're not in good health. Yeah, you're not.
I'm actually sick right now, but
That was very poor choice of words. That was a very poor choice of words. I was referring to something else that was supposed to be some sort of like, gimmick. But I'm sorry. I appreciate your.
Oh yeah, see that? Sorry, I wasn't coughing enough. That was the problem.
All right, so here's what I want to ask you.
Sickly.
Do you guys want to start it off with your keyword, or would you want me to do? What do you want to do? You guys want to start off with your keywords?
What do you think, Lee?
Oh,
I'll take the spotlight.
do I want to take the spotlight? No.
First week back, come charging in with the Chocobo
Why
Cavalry.
don't you take the spotlight? Why don't you start us off so that I can think harder? let me cook a little bit.
Oh, I have a feeling this was gonna happen, so I guess
He brought out the.
I'll go first. I've been forced. It was not optional. All right,
I'll go second.
All right, so keyword. So I've been thinking about this a bit, and I know Dan's keyword, so I can't use discovery or revelation or any variation on that. So I wanted to go a different route that made sense for the franchise. So the word I'm playing with is memory or remembrance.
Ooh. Okay.
So we've got Cloud's identity, right? His lost memory, the reality of who he is, right? So this is a huge part of what's missing from the story. So we've got all that. We've got Tifa's role as memory keeper, right? She's like uniquely positioned to anchor Cloud in his memory. And she also shares in his childhood trauma, that kind of thing. We've got the missing memory of Aerith's moment, right? Like Cloud did not experience this. So he's going to have to experience this as a memory because it didn't happen live. And so it didn't happen for the player either. So we could have flashback or some other method through the live stream or something to where he does experience it live. Not going to predict too hard on that right now, but you've also got, the live stream materia. These things are very deeply tied to memory, knowledge, same type of thing. So like you could have the ultimate summon could be tied to the planet's memory or remembrance. Knights of the Round, right? Could be construed as the planet remembering its greatest defenders or archetypal guardians from memory or something of that nature. You've got false memory, right? Genova, Sephiroth, Hojo, the Whispers, all these things have tampered with fate and thus, in a way, memory of the OG players. So you've got all these elements in the story that already back that up. So what would that look like in terms of gameplay? Well, this is where it gets kind of tricky. But I came up with a few ideas. So memory as a mechanic becomes like you would have instead of folios, you would have new memories or made memories or shared memories. And so your side quests and your moments are creating memories between characters that are unlocking new synergies or whatever they're going to have in part 3, right? But they're character moments that unlock these instead of just standard party progression. And there might actually be key memories that connect those in the same sort of way that the digital mind wave did for Zack and Crisis
I was,
Core, right?
dude, when you were talking, I was like, I'm thinking about the DMV. Or DMV. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dude, I was just at the DMV. I don't want to think about the
DMW.
DMW.
The DMV is the worst memory ever, bro. The worst memory ever.
Yeah, I was thinking about the DMW. Yeah. It was all synaptic net dive, y'all.
So you've got memory empowered synergy moves. Now, another idea I had is that maybe the final limit break unlocks through some sort of memory, right? So it makes sense if Vincent's transformations unlock because he's recalling past or phases in his past with the Turks, Lucretia. They're unlocking different parts of who he is. Barrett's most powerful limit could be unlocked when he recalls like a poignant memory of Marlene or his time even before she entered his life. Tifa's limit could be directly tied to her memories of Zangun. Like they introduced him.
Oh, yeah.
Is he going to come back up again? Like it makes sense. Yeah. Right. Cloud, here I'm going to use a future memory. Cloud might unlock an Omni / variant that we see later. Future memories, right? So there's a lot of ways that this can play. I'm also going to say, so you could do the fusion system from Crisis Core. The materia fusion system could be memory fusion. And that could be, it could work very similarly to the way it does in Crisis Core, but you put sort of this veneer of memory to it where it's either character based or even just completely static. It wouldn't really matter, but you could do it through memory. So memory links and so forth. So then you also have like life stream memory nodes. We've already got the life springs and all that kind of stuff. So you could visit points and witness the planet's memories of different things and get different lore beats, information and stuff like that. I mentioned summons. I'm trying to think here, just scrolling through my notes. Okay. Planetary recall, Knights of the Round. I talked about that. Live stream echoes. So the other big idea I had was that there could be a mechanic on the high wind, since the high wind as the hub was something that I pitched before, where you can form new memories or you can interact in certain ways that create memories, like lasting memories with characters interacting. I also think that if you're going to do this whole memory thing, that you have to have a way to view it. And I don't know what that mechanism would be, whether that would be through like Bugenhagen or something like that, but there you would need a way to like review or view all of these things, right? So yeah, that's the main thing. So memory threads are kind of like, yeah.
I like that, and I like how you even threw in future memories. I was thinking like, oh, he's gonna unlock Omni / because he had a future memory and he's putting it together, and like all the other characters are getting, oh Jesus, that is,
you gotta have past memories, you gotta have making memories, and you gotta have future memories. You gotta get all the angles right.
If you're asking Nomura, man, like memory is such a huge like driving factor in his storytelling, right? So memory makes a lot of sense. Obviously, the live stream is made up of memory, so that works as well. It is the memory of our experience of Final Fantasy VII, if we're going to on the meta level of it. Like if we're going
that's
far.
That's awfully Nomura.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting meta as possible.
So yeah, I actually really like that word. So I'm gonna go into mine. Or you want to go yours? Go yours.
Well, I'll do mine, but I was gonna say, to go on memory, I'm thinking about like how some side quests could complement that, and my thought on that immediately, weirdly enough, went to the flotilla and how that's a memory. Like we're talking about how exploration is going to be a key feature of this game. And so thinking about how memories tie into exploration, we're going to see like relics of past memories. We'll see a number of things like that, or rediscover places that hold memories for certain characters. So that was I just wanted to add that on. But yeah, Dan, if you don't mind, I'm going to jump in for a second.
Go for it.
Because I want to get my point out before you come in with all your notes. So that I
got a lot.
Because coming off the heels of you, I'm just be like, yeah, this is my size predator. Like, it's not gonna look good. Like I can't go after the A+ winner in the group.
Lee out here with the cup of dirt. It's a cup of dirt.
Yeah,
it's a cup with dirt in it.
Bro built like a perfectly scaled solar system, and I'm here with a paper mache volcano, and it doesn't even ooze anything. So like I want to look cool. No, so my word, I feel like, I don't know what your word is now, Dan.
Okay.
But my word sort of marries Wiley's current word and what I knew your word was. And my word was introspection.
Ooh.
So introspection, by definition, is the examination or observation of one's own mental and emotional processes. So that to me is that sort of summarizes where Cloud's journey is going to end. His journey ends in Final Fantasy VII with a huge introspection of himself through somebody else's help, of course, with Tifa, but it is ultimately him reconnecting the dots. He's the one that makes the discovery about why everything didn't make sense. He's like, no, that's why I was there. I'm the soldier, like these are the things to me that I think about where this story ends, and it's an introspection for not just Cloud, but a lot of characters too. And to complement that point as well, like there's even locations that are all about introspection. Like I think about Barrett's journey and Corel and where he ends, and now the citizens of Corel like welcome him back as a hero. They reflected on their own opinions on him because of his actions. His actions convinced everyone that this is a guy who, for the better part of I forgot how long it was exactly since they sort of alienated him. But the point is that he, they're looking. Sorry if I sound sick. It's because I'm sick. But they, to me, I'm thinking about the locations and how that complements the point. Wu-Tai's another one. Yuffie has a lot of resentment for Wu-Tai for a number of reasons. And a lot of it has to do with her own feelings of herself and her parallel journey with Wu-Tai as a nation. So I'm looking at that. I wrote, other locations. I mean, you have Cosmo Canyon, which makes me think of Bugenhagen, which it's him who helps. How do I put this? Because I feel like Rebirth, Part 3 is going to recontextualize the Aerith scene quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So I feel like Bugenhagen's flashback that we get with him, where he kind of shows everything with the white materia, might also lead to the party understanding their grief about the situation. That's going to be the moment that they can reflect on everything that occurred, that they could come to terms with what happened. And that's going to be a big part of the game too, is everyone, coming to terms with that grief. And I think also the moment I'm most excited for in Part 3, and we talked about this before, but the scene I'm most excited for is when Cloud tells everybody to go home and find out what it is they're fighting for. I want to see if we see that. Sure. And that is introspection. That is everybody going back and thinking inwardly about what it is that they need to fight for. So I think about that.
I love the word. I love the word introspection. So I'm going to throw this back at you.
Sure.
How would you, and I know you're like, I'm putting you on the spot, but like
go for it.
How would you incorporate introspection into the gameplay? Like a working build. That is,
see, that's where I was thinking harder.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so really took. I need to think harder and made it his keyword.
Yeah, that's his keyword.
Yeah.
That's the so. Just for context for everybody, in terms of this is Naoki Hamaguchi. Let me see if I got. Yeah. In terms of development, we're working on that right now. We've got builds running where you can actually experience what that theme is through the gameplay. So it's like, so if it's introspection, that's a great one. How does
it complement?
How does that I like what you could combine it with. I mean, you could combine it with Excalibur, with the memory thing of like, you know, you're going to different locations, which calls it like going to Wutai or something, and allowing that introspection. I'm trying to think like, okay, combat mechanics. What's the combat mechanic there? Like, I love the word. Honestly, I really think that is such a great word for where we're headed with part 3, though. Like, that is an awesome word.
Well, of course.
For
and I'm
that.
thinking about how that works gameplay wise.
Yeah.
And initially, what comes to mind is that how do you make a character, like, if you wanted to make introspection work, you could almost work it into the leveling system, or how, like, somebody said introspection sphere grid. No, but like, seriously, you almost could do something like that.
Yeah, it's
where
like, yeah.
Sorry, go. Dave.
No, I'm just like, it's like the haiku from like Ghost of Yotei or Ghost of Tsushima. You have to write a haiku. You write a haiku. You just sit there and you're just it's quiet.
Well, I'm thinking about introspection. I mean, this isn't gameplay. This is more narrative, but introspection would lead into mechanics that you might be able to get.
Dang, man, you are
being introspective.
Yeah, I was getting super introspective there.
Yeah,
am I back?
You're back.
Okay. So I was just gonna say this might lean a little narrative heavy, but it does complement gameplay. Depending on how they make the high wind work, the people that we get involved with the high wind and the features that come with them might tie heavily into introspection. Billy's journey in Rebirth was him learning about his father and his past with Sam, and if we can connect that in an introspective way into getting him onto the high wind so that I can breed a chocobo, then there you go. How it actually ties into gameplay, that's a great question, Dan, and I was too sick to think on that point, but I'm glad you threw that on the spot. So, you're good.
So it's where it's gonna go for me here. I'm gonna just try and tie all of this together. When it comes to the gameplay, I get a little like mind block as well here. So maybe you guys can help me out.
It's the hard part to think about. You can think about the narrative all you want because there's so many great themes.
Exactly. Like, right. So I'm like, all right, what's going to happen in this in part 3 story wise? That's why I was like, yeah, discovery was my word back in one of the first hypecasts we did. It's the one with the high wind on the front and it has discovery on the thumbnail. You can watch that. I kind of go into in depth with how I think that's going to work. Is I'm just going to repeat myself a little bit too here, but I think discovery is a great word. I mean, we got what's going to happen with Cloud in the live stream, like discovering his true self and things like that. We're going to discover what the end game for Sephiroth is. We'll discover what the true fate of Aerith will. Those like key points, everything feels like that's discovery, right? But there is another word that I can say discovery / revelations, right? Because revelations it almost feels more poetic when it comes to those big deal things like Meteor and Sephiroth's endgame, and like that's revelations. Plus Matrix, the third movie, is revelations. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I watched Matrix the other day. Yo, the first Matrix, y'all, is still one of the best movies ever made. Oh man, dude, it is still so good. But anyways, so yeah, Matrix Revelations is the third one in there. Revelations being like, hey man, a lot of this stuff is being literally revealed to you. We've gotten, and I think even in one of the interviews, it was like, you know, part 3 is all about really bringing this all together, bringing everything together for a nice, satisfying conclusion. We're going to get the reveals of all of these things, right? That they're talking about at the end of Rebirth. So Revelations does feel like a really good word, as well as like, I mean, Discovery and Revelations go hand in hand. There is a word, and since you guys didn't say it, I'm going to bring it up as my third word. But since you guys didn't say it, I'm going to bring this one into the conversation. Freedom! The price of freedom is steep. I think freedom kept popping up in these interviews. Like they were using the word freedom a lot. And I'm like, so freedom does sound like a good keyword. I just don't really know how that ties into the story as much as well as Discovery and Revelations do. But freedom kept popping up, man. As far as at least
multiple endings.
Oh no, please stop. Bro,
you brought this on yourself, bro.
Stop.
You brought this on yourself.
Stop right now. Stop right now.
Oh man.
So I'm trying to find I'll just get right into it, I guess, here. Speaking of the evolutions from gameplay, let me bring that into this it right here. I had some of these windows open very much. Yeah, this is the one. So I'm gonna bring this up so you guys can see it. Where's the boom? Oh, of course, as if you guys can actually read that. Maybe you can. I don't know, but here.
No, I can't read.
So,
I can't read.
He says, Naoki Hamaguchi says, and he says this to. Yeah, I think it's a German website, so I can't really pronounce it. So, it's Ntower. Naoki Hamaguchi says, I can't make any specific announcements about the third game in the series today. It's not the time, we're not ready for that yet, but I can talk fairly abstract terms of how we're approaching it. As you're very much aware, the first game in the series, Final Fantasy VII Remake, was more story-driven, linear gaming experience. And then that evolved and changed into a more open world adventure in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the second game. And that seems to be very well regarded. People seem to like the change a lot, and they like the new gameplay direction. So we were very happy with that. But moving forward to the third game, obviously I can't say exactly what it is, but I don't want it. I don't want to deliver just the exact same style of gameplay experience as we had in Rebirth again. Nah, we're going to evolve it and change it again to give another different and fresh take on the Final Fantasy VII gameplay. Okay, looking at that, it seems like the evolution is right there. I mean, how do you evolve? Yeah. How do you go from linear to open? What's the next step? What's the next evolution of that? I have my answer, but I want to hear yours, Excalibur.
All right, so freedom is great for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to look at what freedom means in part 3, let's look at what bonds means in Rebirth and jump in if I miss something. So in Rebirth, bonds is synergy, abilities and skills. It's side quests being connected to characters specifically, so you have those bonds. It's
affinity
the
system.
Date mechanics, affinity system, right, that feeds into the dates. The folios itself are bonds, right? It's showing that's the progression system is based on the bonds. What else?
I mean, I think you kind of nailed it, but it kind of works into every little aspect of it. But yeah, those are the big key ones. The relationship between the characters, how they become closer over the journey through like connected, branching storylines or connected storylines. I think that is the key with the synergy abilities tying into the combat and gameplay. And this, you nailed it. You nailed it.
The dialogue choices are also gameplay, right? So technically that feeds into the narrative, the gameplay choice that feeds into the narrative with your dates and so forth.
Yes.
So in part 3, freedom could be, first of all, travel anywhere. Okay, that's freedom, right? You literally have the high wind, you can move around. So you have environmental freedom, but you could also have freedom of the party or combat style, right? Choose any team. Maybe you can swap them in and out, like Final Fantasy X style, but on the fly. We're expecting 3-person synergies, so you're going to want to have absolute freedom with the party. So that means dynamic party changing, right? Now I mentioned multiple endings, but we could back that off a hair and just say dynamic story path. So you could have subtle narrative freedom where you have different choices have different outcomes. So in the same way that you have the date, for example, there might be different scenarios that have different outcomes in part 3. not a huge stretch. Go ahead.
It's not, and to kind of build off of that is, I mean, we're playing a little bit fast and loose with the keyword, right? Like it's either freedom or discovery or revelations, whatever. But going into what you were talking about with like different story events or like choosing which way do you go, you actually get a little bit of that in the OG anyway, right? So once you discover Cloud, or you find Cloud, Tifa stays with Cloud, what do? You can either go to Fort Condor or you can go to Corel. And you can choose to find the huge, which huge materia or the Magnus materia that you're going to go. So that gives you freedom of choice on how your storyline goes. And if let me bring in the battle director Teruki Endo, telling Games Radar, quote, "The whole team focused on expanding the battles and the wider gameplay cycle in Rebirth, so players were always making new discoveries right up until the end. Personally, I think it would be nice to give the player even more freedom. So I want to give that a try, and I'm thinking about how to do it right now." So there was something else he said. Let's just go ahead into the next quote. Let's go to the next quote. Let's get the whole thing. This is Anime News Network. Anime News Network saying, in the May version of the Inside Square Enix video, Endo-san stated he wanted to give the player even more freedom in the third installment. Can you share some of the ideas the staff are implementing to do this? Teruki Endo says, quote, while I'm unable to comment on the granular ideas of all of that right now, I believe that instead of the developers or creators dictating how the player should play along a pre-planned path, so to speak, it is better to allow more freedom and the user's choice and the user's choice to be able to play in their own way that they wish to.
Let's go.
While naturally there are challenges to actually realizing that, and then when you go into making that a reality, my thoughts are also that for the Final Fantasy series to continue to reinvent itself, revitalize itself, and stay fresh to our players, this type of constant evolution is necessary in terms of battle elements as well. So he's talking about the actual game, and then he's like, it's also necessary in terms of battle elements as well. Yeah, basically he's saying right there, I mean, not basically, he's saying, I believe that instead of the developers or creators dictating how the players should play along a pre-planned path, so to speak, it is better to allow more freedom. And I think that also ties into discovery as well. So imagine Tifa staying with Cloud. You got the high wind now. You're going to your next mission. You get to choose. What's your next mission? Imagine you want to go to Corel, right? So you go to Corel. I think if you're doing something in Corel, I think Barrett should take lead. All right, or something like that. Something should happen to where this could tie into discovery and, you know, like finding something different than somebody else did. Let's say I chose the path to go to Corel and I got a storyline that maybe like characters in my party interacted a little differently because, you know, maybe the party splits. I don't know. You get to choose and they have different dialogue. I know that's crazy. We're getting Baldur's Gate 3 style, like branching, voice lines that you have to do. But I just think it would be fun to say, okay, I brought with me Barrett and Yuffie and Sid to Corel. Now I have a different banter than I would have if I would have brought Vincent instead of Yuffie or something like that. That could be giving the player agency and discovery of like, okay, well, changing up my party composition is giving me not only a different battle mechanics and stuff, but like also I'm getting different story elements because the characters are interacting differently. But condensing that down even further and just saying, listen, you get to go to Fort Condor or you can go to Corel. That's a choice. And then you're giving a little bit more freedom. In fact, if you don't want to do that, take your high wind and fly around the map a little bit. Go up here, go back to the Icicle Inn that you were at. Let's see what they have to say. They probably have something different to say. Maybe they have maybe the meteors in the sky now, and now there's a different obviously there's a different atmosphere. There's obviously they're gonna be talking about like the end of the world stuff. So it'll be fun to discover that. No quest markers. I put that in my notes too. So I have it broken down into my 5 pillars again. I'm sorry, guys. I keep doing this. Maybe just 4 pillars for this. But story, gameplay, audio, and visuals, all right? How does that word tie into all of these different pillars? So as far as like visuals go, get rid of it, man. Get rid of the HUD. Get rid of that freaking indications and markers all over my map. Don't give me that. Take away all of the indicators, right? I want to go talk to somebody in a town just because I chose to do that. I talk to this person, and they're talking about, oh man, there was this disturbance over there off the east coast of freaking Wutai, and they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go and investigate that. There's no marker say investigate east coast of Wutai. Nothing. There's no marker, ping, right there on my map. Nothing. I'm just gonna go do it because I talked to somebody, and now I know oh man, this sounds familiar. It's almost like Final Fantasy. That's crazy. Right? We're doing the retrospective series right now of Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3.
Like that.
It can't. Wait a second. That's almost like what Final Fantasy was. So getting rid of all of that, this might be that evolution that Naoki Hamaguchi was talking about, right? This might be that evolution of like, okay, so we went from linear, we went to open world. Now what's the next evolution of that? Fully open world, freaking Breath of the Wild style open world, Elden Ring, whatever you want to call it. Go, enjoy, experience this story how you want to experience. And then also, this also kind of eliminates a lot of the people's criticisms about, oh, there's just so many side quests and so many checklists and it's so checklisty, it's Ubisoft and open world. You get rid of all that, and then it's up to the player on how they want to go about it. There's nothing telling you that you have to go do all of this. It's not forced optional anymore. It's not forced optional content. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go do that. I'm just moving on at my own pace, and I found my I ended up at the credits. I ended up credit. I don't know.
You moseyed your way onto the.
I moseyed my way onto the credits, and then maybe after the credits roll, bring in all the HUD markers and let you know your completion rate. That might be a good solution. Anyways, I think you get rid of all that. You just make it fully open world. I think you do. Obviously, you have to have certain areas gated off. Like we talked about this before. We talked about, oh, it's wartime. You can't have a no-fly zone over Midgar and Wutai, obviously. Obviously Wutai, because you don't want to take a Shinra ship, the flagship, over Wutai. They would shoot you down. So, hey, stay away from Wutai for now. That gates it off, so that way you can go to it later. But from the moment you get the high wind, you can go everywhere else. Enjoy this world. I think that's awesome. That's freedom. That is discovery, right? So, another thing with the discovery, I'm flying around the open world. Just like in the original Final Fantasy VII, thinking back to that. Man, I'm just got my high wind. I'm flying over the world map. I'm going to the northeast quadrant. I'm going up there. I'm just flying my ship, man. I'm just having a good time. What the heck is that round island?
What's up there, Dan?
How come
quadrant?
How come I can't land on this round island? What am I going to do? Now, back when there was no internet, right? How the heck do I get to this round island? Discovery. My friends, I have discovered this island. I don't know how to get to it. That's where you get a gold chocobo. You have to go find, you got to do something else. We'll come back to it later. Make a mental note. I'll come back to it later once I've figured something out. Right? So I think discovery plays into the gameplay when he's saying right here, and he's saying that we have a working build where you can experience the gameplay. Well, we've heard that before. We just haven't heard that full extended quote, but we've heard the quote, we have a working build. And what was that working build for? The high wind, baby. The high wind. The first thing they worked on was the high wind, it felt like. The first thing they were saying, like, yeah, we got a working build with the high wind. We're quite proud of it. So now it's like, all right. And then, what was the other thing? Where was the other one? Let me grab it. This is coming from Summoning a Masterpiece. Naoki Hamaguchi saying, the prototyping, the experimenting of the high wind has reached quite a level now. as well as traveling around the world in the Highwind, you will absolutely be able to do that. There's another aspect of the gameplay you'll be able to access from the Highwind. Do something new and special while you're riding around on it.
Really?
It gets me so excited, bro. It gets me so excited. I get so hyped, man. All right.
Let me throw something in here so we
Okay.
can get back to the Highwind, because when you were talking about combat, so freedom, okay.
Freedom.
I guess you could add discovery to this, but more so freedom. There's a huge thing missing from Rebirth's systems as they feed into combat, and that is materia loadouts. Okay?
Materia loadouts.
Give us materia loadouts. That's freedom. Okay. And also give us what OG FF7 had. Let us swap whole builds from one character to another. I want the freedom to take this build and move it from Yuffie to Barrett, because I want to take Barrett now, but I want to keep that same build. I want the same spells. I want the same summons. I want the same kit. I want the freedom to use a different character with the same materia loadout without having the hassle of swippy swapping everything manually. So give me loadouts and give me the ability to swap whole kits. Give me freedom.
Yo.
Okay.
I love that. And they were talking about in one of the things, one of these interviews, recent interviews of like, hey, I think, I don't know if it was Hamaguchi or Katase, excuse me. They were talking about how this being the third part of a larger trilogy, how it's almost like a live service type thing of where they're able to release the first game, get feedback, release the second game, get feedback, and they take this feedback into consideration. One of the things that he was talking about, like, he was like, well, you know, we look at certain things. We look at the side quests, the side effects. The side effects are hype. The side effects is hype. No, we look at the side quests, right? And he was like, that was one of the things that, no, mini games. I'm sorry, I butchered this. But he looked at the mini games, and he was like, mini games was something that we got feedback on from Rebirth. And we will, like, you know, maybe this mini game could have been different, or maybe this mini game was great. So we know what to do. We know what players like. Going into this third one, they know what to address. You gotta think one of those things was materia loadouts. I mean, just
for sure.
That's one of the biggest critiques.
Quality of life, man.
Yeah,
like just quality of life. We need
to stick with the materia idea. You talked about materia fusion system as a way to discover new materia, right? So discovery, that ties in great. And then also, if you want to, I would like to discover new ways that materia interacts with each other, right? So this would be kind of new for part 3. Like if materia, like if I linked fire and I have ice linked up, that would be cool. I mean, it's the same thing as materia fusion in a way, but you're actually equipping it linked. And if I got fire and ice, maybe give me like a fire ice spell or something like I don't know. I'm just kind of riffing right now, but discovering like, oh my god, what did that? I combined lightning and arrow, and I just got a freaking thunderstorm. You know, I got a freaking like Bro, just like, you know, this is crazy.
Yes.
We need a 3-slot materia link weapon right there.
Hold up.
3 materia link.
The Dragoon King. Bro. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Yeah, I like the 3 materia. The Dragoon King just said something that was quite crazy. Like Fable.
Yeah, I'm not able to talk much because I'm like too congested, but like Fable, yeah, like.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right, freedom. All right, this goes into the word, but anyways. Naoki Hamaguchi on Windows Central. Quote, I absolutely love the Fable series. I love that sense of freedom and choice, and how the player's actions really impact the world. Fable has had a positive influence on my own creative work.
Dude. Well, yeah, because you said that arrow, thunder, materia combo. And like that was my favorite spell combo in Fable, was just
So yeah,
whipping people around and electrocuting them, and I'd love to do that in Final Fantasy VII. So yeah,
how cool would that be? All right, in order to like not completely like, so if it was the 3 materia link system, right? What if one of the materia was called link materia, right? So if you have the 3 notches, you have fire, link, ice. So now you have like, you put the link in the middle. So now you're telling it, I want to link these 2 materias, right? What? You know, like, what? That's crazy. Anyways, this is just us riff. That's obviously that
was off the cuff, but
we're off the cuff with that one. But it's like, dude,
Fable materia system would be kind of dope. I can't lie.
Yeah, that'd be crazy, bro.
Right, and that also would really tie in heavily to the discovery keyword of like, I just discovered a cool new materia just because I was just messing around with linking up these materias or fusing the materias. So
make it a spot on the Highwind, like a materia crafter, a materia mender. Just
you got to imagine the Highwind's going to be a hub. Like it's going to be your hub.
I want the Highwind to be a hub.
Yeah,
so bad.
You gotta imagine that's going to be the case. All right, so there's that. We're sticking with I'm kind of all over the place on my my notes, but I did talk about how Fable, and he says something that kind of repeats himself twice, which I pick up on. Got to pick up on it. All right. In a different interview, so like the interview with Windows Central, he says that I love how the player's actions in Fable really impact the world. Okay. Keep that in mind as I go over to RPG Site. This one written by Mikhail Madnani. Sorry. I just want to give you credit. But so this is RPG Site. Hamaguchi says that DK Bonanza is a game that he has really enjoyed this year. Quote, I felt that sort of interaction that one can get within the world inside. Oh, wait, let's say it again. Quote, I felt that the sort of interaction that one can gain with the world inside of it was truly amazing, right? So interacting with the world. Interacting with the world was mentioned twice. So imagine once again, you've opened up the world. There's no quest markers. Now the world is yours to explore. Right? It's yours to interact with. Whereas in Rebirth, it felt more like I was just moving to the next marker. I'm going to the next objective. The world is playing me. Whereas part 3, I play the world. You know what I mean? I do what I want. Something like that. So that could be an evolution there. Interacting with the world is such that can blow things open even further, where we can go to discovery. You talked about having different party combinations. We're going to have a lot of party members, swapping them in and out. Well, tell me how cool this would be if I walked into a dungeon and I don't know what the heck I'm like, where the heck am I going in here? This is a secret dungeon. I just stumbled upon it. What is going on in here? And then I'm just scanning the environment. I look up and I see, I don't know, some sort of like something that says shoot me, and I go, okay, well, I gotta go swap in Barrett.
Well, that's yeah. So you want now you want to go from the Fable like game style to Lego Star Wars,
Metroidvania. Okay, yeah.
That's, okay. I was thinking. If I was thinking Lego Star Wars,
all right, like, on 3, let's say it, boys. 1, 2, 3. Lego Star Wars.
This is what Lego games do, where it's like you go back into a level. It's like, oh, I needed a bounty hunter to enter that area. For this, it's like, all right, so you take Rebirth's dungeon mechanics, and then you marry that in where every dungeon you do can be done with any combination of those people, but you will get something different out of it each time. So you might not go in with Red 13, but there's a Red 13 running wall that you could go up, and there might be something really good in that dungeon. Like it changes the play style. Or you don't have Yuffie in your party, but there's a grapple hook thing that you could go like.
It's like you are entering the dungeon. You have to choose your party. You can't swap it.
You choose your party. You can't. Right, as I say. So it actually I like the opposite, where you don't go back and swap in. It's like you're locked. Maybe you're locked in with the dungeon, but it provokes you to want to come back and try the dungeon again later.
It's great for secret dungeons. Like if that's a secret dungeon, it's completely optional.
If they add more secret dungeon, I would love that, because I feel like, yes, narratively you need the main dungeon. Like if it's like a story dungeon, that has to, play a certain way. It's got to go a certain, way. Maybe there could be a secret here and there.
Everybody's with you. Yeah.
Optional dungeons or something where you could re-enter them a couple times. Like you don't need to do it. It's not one and done. Maybe you could go back. And like everybody would love if you go into like a Nibelheim dungeon where you gotta throw boxes to find the secrets.
Yes. And Mr. Bigglesworth
in the chat.
Yeah, Mr. Bigglesworth saying Mario 64 wall jumping with Tifa. Honestly, I kind of like the idea of like Tifa being able to run up, like kind of like do some crazy ninja well, that's Yuffie, but whatever. You get what I'm saying. What did Toolman say?
Oh no, I was just saying shout out to Toolman because Lee's talking about throwing boxes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's forced optional. It's completely forced optional dungeons.
Yeah. Leave Kate for all the high score bullshit.
But like, I think that's dude. Give me a platformer, like a literal, like make the dungeons like different genres. Would be so freaking cool, honestly. But like the dungeons are the mini games now, and but anyways, I'm going crazy with it, going really, really crazy with it, but like basically discovering something because I was just searching the world, right? So like I'm discovering a dungeon because I'm riding my chocobo around, a mountain chocobo. I ride it up to the top of the Junon region up there because I can't land my high wind up there because it's really rocky. So I can't land the high wind. So I'm going up there with my mountain chocobo. I go up there and I'm like, oh snap. I see it. There was that little cave. I thought it was a cave when I looked down it from the high wind. Now I discovered I'm going in there, and it's just completely discovery based. I think that would be the coolest thing. That is not only just really, really cool in an evolution of what they've been doing with the remake series, but also just essentially bringing back Final Fantasy exploration, right? Like this is stuff that we used to do all the time, like OG included, PS1 era, like overworld, like the world map was yours to explore and discover. Whereas, obviously with new consoles, limitations, they couldn't quite figure out this overworld. But now that we've kind of got the world map back, it's like, this is what we want from it. So I think they would probably know that as well. They probably know that better than anybody. Like, we need to bring back that discoverability back to the exploration. So, all right. And then like Gaming Track saying, I don't know about you guys, but if E33, Expedition 33, everybody go play it. Best game this year, GOTY. Got more content 6 months after release, I hope that part 3 will too. And if you have this discovery-based system, then you can be like, hey guys, we've hidden 3 new dungeons on the world map. Have fun. And it's like, now, like, how cool would that be? Like 6 months after release, we've already rolled credits, and then they say, hey, we've put an update in the game. We've added 3 new dungeons. They're on the world map. You have to find them. Then you go into the game, and you're just booting up the game and just having fun. There's a conversation going on. Like, I don't know, man. I checked over here on the Midgar region. It's not there. I mean, I think that really ties back into the discovery. So, where am I? Words.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. yeah, really.
That's how my congested brain sounds right now. My brain is like 60% mucus and 40% thought.
Dude, honestly, I'm looking at my notes. I'm pretty sure I've covered all of my notes. Like, did a great job, I think, of really solidifying the keywords here. All right. So awesome. And then when it comes to audio, I was just like, listen, I have one note. and you'll appreciate it, Dragoon King. The Highwind music, baby. The Highwind music is discovery. Like it is, baby. It is exploration, and just discovery and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, I think we can probably close this one out. I think we did a pretty good job of all the keywords. Now, I do want to go through chat. If you guys can help me out here, go through chat, pick out some other keywords that people had. What were people saying here, guys? You know, what were we saying here? Subtext saying my most crackpot wish list item would be online multi. Come on, subtext. I don't know if you watched my video that I had with King Valvados. I'm gonna call him by his real. All right, they changed. He didn't change it. King Valvados. Like years ago, I was talking about Rebirth at this point with King Valvados, and I said, "Give me." It was before Rebirth came out. Give me multiplayer in the Gold Saucer. Talk about playing long after credits rolled. Long after credits rolled. Honestly, that should have been in Rebirth with Queen's Blood. Like, to be able to play Queen's Blood in Rebirth, not like a mobile game, not like trying to get just, if you keep the fans in Rebirth, you keep the fans there. You keep the fans in Part 3. They're there because they're enjoying the Gold Saucer with their friends. It doesn't have to be a live service. Doesn't have to be Battle Pass or Gold Saucer Pass, even though that is a thing in the original game. You have a Gold Saucer Pass that you can pay for. But if you give me that and I can play and hang out with my friends at the Gold Saucer, and maybe even create an NPC to go play around in the Gold Saucer, and do it from within Part 3, I think that's genius. I think that is absolute genius. To play all of the mini games that they worked really hard on, but make them all multiplayer. I think that's awesome. So that is, yeah, I've been pushing for online multiplayer for a long time. But actually, you know what's crazy? I actually got pushback on that. Like a couple of people commenting and like, no, keep multiplayer out. And it's like,
wow.
Yeah, but if it's just Gold
It's
Saucer,
optional.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I don't see. You're not forced to do it.
Man.
No, I mean,
Your leader.
You're not.
You know,
it's not
like,
forced option.
It's almost like we have a phrase for that.
Yeah. All right, you guys forced option. That's so great.
I still can't believe you made a shirt and it just says Dragoon Command. Like, I can't.
Yeah, it is there. It is there. I had to quote the man.
Stefaroth. Stefaroth008 coming in here with a really good one too. Or freedom to choose who you'd run around as. You can be Cloud, Tifa, etc. Maybe you can do it for every scenario, but to a degree. Every scenario, but to a degree. Yeah, obviously, like for main scenario stuff like that, you got to play as Cloud. But like, yeah, that would be cool. In the open world, you get to choose to run around as Cloud, Tifa. I have a feeling that they're going to do quite a bit of main character swapping as we play as other characters when Cloud is in the thing, and that's going to be a hypecast in itself. But I kind of already teased that a little bit with like, hey, if we're going to Corel, I think Barrett should probably be the leader. I mean, and then if we're if we're going to
I think it's like a new game plus feature to just let us use whoever we want, but like for the actual game, force who you're.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like obviously game. Yeah, new game plus, it's like, okay, use whatever. I mean, I know you can set the battle composition to however you want, but so long as it's not like a major cutscene.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
I mean,
I
love the idea in the original game they put Sid as the leader, but it's like, what if the player could choose who they wanted to be the leader after Tifa and
it's gotta be Sid.
Think so?
No.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I offended. I offended.
No.
I offended.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No.
All right.
That's a whole podcast.
Sometimes having a platform is dangerous, Dan.
All right, we will absolutely revisit this in a future hypecast. We're going to revisit that. But yes, giving the freedom of running around as different characters would be really nice, as long as it's not story quests and stuff like that. Now, what else do we got? Mr. Bigglesworth saying copy paste the Final Fantasy Tactics job system. And what about like a similar job system, right? We were kind of toying around with this as well when I was talking about discovery, and I was like, all right, well, how can I make this work, progression, and like even in Teruki Endo saying something of like how there shouldn't be a set path. He wants the players to have more agency and like more freedom. So it's kind of like, how does that work into the battle system, the character progression? And I'm like, well, I mean, you could have it to where it's like you could go Final Fantasy II style with it. If you're using your materia, your magic levels up. If you're using your attack, your attack's leveling up. You're going to get more stronger. Things like that we're going outside of like, whoa, we don't want to break what is already freaking perfect. Like the FF7R battle system is perfect. But it could be interesting to say like, yo, no, Barrett's my mage. Like Barrett's MP is insane. So because I keep using MP with him or something like that. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing that out there. Because obviously going back and playing these older Final Fantasy games and experiencing the job class system, it's like, yo, that is a lot of player agency there.
So you really want the Final Fantasy 2 battle system in 7, Dan?
No, no. I say don't break what's already perfect. All right, don't break what's perfect.
Sure, you don't want to have Yuffie and Barrett attack each other and over and over, so you can boost their HP and all that. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that.
You can't target your friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
don't know.
I think you're onto something.
I'm onto something there. Work it out, man.
Red Speak Beaver.
Red Speak Beaver for sure, bro.
Oh man, he would be so proud of himself, man. He's like, yo, my nose, red. Check my nose. Yo, harken back to the.
That was really good, Dad.
Go back to it.
Yeah, I'm so proud. Like my nose.
So East Blue Drew says he wanted to ask us something. It's unrelated, and since we're closing out the show here, actually, I'll go a couple questions here. Where we have, that's actually good. Gaming Track says, you know how Yote has a lo-fi setting in the music? Give us an option in part 3 to listen to original Final Fantasy 7 music. That's kind of cool. I was thinking, nope, that's a different Hypecast. We'll talk about it. I got lots to say. And then Tyler Hepner saying we need to zip around as Vincent. What would it be his traversal gimmick? And guess what? That's another Hypecast, and I'm really excited to talk about it. So we are definitely going to be talking about that kind of stuff. And then we have. I just wanted to ask you guys. Yeah, East Blue Drew with coming in with a question since this is, the end of the show. Do you think they're working on Final Fantasy 17 right now?
Yeah, probably.
I think, unfortunately, I think it's in the early planning stages, and that really hurts me. It really hurts my heart because I'm like, man, I was hoping for a good, quick turnaround on these games, even if they were to just build off of Final Fantasy 16's combat and add elemental strengths and weaknesses. But if they were able to do that, it'd be a Final Fantasy game. So. And then, yeah, I wish they were just to iterate. And I know that's a conversation that's been going on for a while, but. So, all right. Let's see. No, which led me to the incident. sorry, Lee. My bad. I said Sid is no longer the leader.
Yeah, and then I immediately made an adjustment to the board.
All right, y'all. We have so many great topics in the works, and I can't wait to get to all of them. And I want to thank you all for showing up and just bringing the hype, sharing the hype with us every week with this. It is so much fun. And I said this at the top of the show, but since there's, more people here that probably didn't get to see the top of the show, coming up November 1st, we made a special announcement, and Tyler Hepner is in the chat right now, everybody. Special announcement, November 1st, Final Anniversary 5, the 5 years of Final Fan TV celebration. We have Tyler Hepner as a special guest on the show, not only just to hang out and have fun with us and celebrate 5 years of Final Fan TV, but also to be a guest on a very special HYPECAST during the event. So it's going to be a HYPECAST that takes place during Final Anniversary 5. It is predicting the box art for Part 3. And we're talking about box art. We have an artist. Put the two together, baby. I'm excited. I am really, really hyped for that. So that's November 1st, once again. November 1st, Final Anniversary 5. Show up. Let's make that a big, big deal. And there's going to be more announcements to come with each HYPECAST leading up to Final Anniversary 5. So we have some special guest announcements and show segments and things like that. So be excited, be hyped, and I'll see you guys in the next HYPECAST, where you will also bring the hype. I'm almost stalling because I feel like there was something else I wanted to say. But I do want to say one thing to you guys, because I said it earlier. You came back with a GIF, a joking GIF about my very deep, heartfelt message to my fans. And you bring in a Breaking Bad GIF, but I'm going to say it anyway. All right? The warrior of hype needs the blessing of the crystal of hype. And you, my final fans, are the crystal.
So what does that make me and Wiley?
Shut up, man. I was trying to end the show, bro. I forgot. Come on, bro. That was a beautiful exit. I was trying to take a moment. Quiet. I'm trying to let the moment sink in.
I just want to know.
Y'all are my warriors of hype, of course. All right,
okay,
y'all.
cool.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
All right.